All right. Here we are, Eric.
Our new studio.
This is literally the new studio. We need to, we need to get the green screen thing so that they can project the trailer park like they
I
did.
say always. It's like the new backgrounds. Mine should be the trailer park always.
Yes, of course.
And you should just get a mullet every time.
I need a mullet, some sort of wig anyway. So guys, we're here today to do something really cool and special, which is announce a new athlete. And before we announce the athlete and bring him on, I thought the thing to do would be to discuss the decision-making process to bring on a new athlete, because this is a very unique time to bring on an athlete, obviously with the coronavirus and everything going on, but also in general for us to bring a new athlete, it's not an easy decision.
No, because at this point, how far the brand has grown and how, I guess, defined the brand is now. To bring someone on that really fits the brand, fits the culture of the company, really is aligned to who we are from core values. It gets tough too, and also someone that's genuine. It's not just like, oh, I want to kind of catch the coattails of this company. So,
right.
And not to be in a derogatory way.
Yeah, of course.
Kind of where we're at.
Yeah. So when we think of bringing an athlete on, it's usually a combination of things. Number one, they've either done something unique or special, accomplished something big, or been a part of something big. Number two, this usually goes with it, but we need somebody who has a large social media following, that has an engaged social media following, and then most importantly, fits through our brand filter.
Right, and that's probably the hardest thing to find right now.
Yes, so like for us, we've been approached by a lot of people with very large followings that have done cool stuff, but they don't work for our brand. And that's something that we always think of. And from the very beginning of Redcon 1, we knew who we wanted to be, knew who we were, and then fit everything through an actual filter and said, does this person or ad or design, does this work in our brand for our long-term goal?
Yeah, it's the same really when we bring on an athlete, it's like bringing on another employee, because we do the same thing with employees of fit for brand, because it's the old, what they call airport test, right? Like if you got stuck in the airport with this person, would you want to just run and hide, or could you spend 6 hours with them having a good time talking, having a drink? And it is part of the filter we use too.
Right. And for our athletes, they really are part of the family, part of the team. We spend a lot of time around them. We go to a lot of events. We obviously fly people here. And under this, for an athlete of this caliber, we would bring in somebody for sure, fly him in any other time.
Yeah, right now, obviously,
can't.
Just the magic of this television we get to use.
Yeah, exactly. We're bringing them in live, but they would normally physically be here and get to come check out the Redcon gym. And that is going to happen. Hopefully everybody will be back to the normal or new normal or whatever very soon. For us, deciding on an athlete right now also was unique. Like, for example, with this person we're going to announce, and then with Adam, who we just announced, the new WWE champion, who is actually fortunate enough to be able to drive. He's only a few hours away from Orlando to drive up here. We told these guys, hey, this is not, maybe we need to put all this on hold and revisit or come back and make this decision once this is all over. And both the guys said, you know what, I don't care. We want to be on the team. Martyn, just gave it away. Roll the video at this point. Well, I ruined it.
No, you didn't. Actually, listen, that's actually kind of fits the brand, right?
It fits the brand. Welcome to the team. Big welcome, Martyn Ford. Martyn,
hello. Well, thank you for the double introduction.
I ruined everything.
I was excited. And it just came out
So first off, welcome to the team. Thank you for being here. You were gracious enough to be the guest judge, you and Jay Cutler and Ron Norman, for the big readiness trials finale. And a lot of people reached out to me personally. I don't know about you, Eric.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, "Oh, you need to get Martyn on the team. You need to get Martyn on the team." And I was like, "Oh well, what do we got? A surprise for you?" So it's been great, and I wanted to say thank you first off for being here and spending some time with us today.
No problem at all. There was a slight hiccup, but nothing's going to stop me being here.
Yeah, so Martyn, I feel like the thing people are going to ask, if they are aware of you, if they've been following you, they know you're with 5%. And once Rich unfortunately passed, things changed there, and you started your own company. From there, people are going to want to know, well, how does Martyn? How is he there, and now he's with Redkind? Could you tell the journey?
Yeah, 1,000,000%, buddy. I mean, obviously, when we lost Rich, it was a massive shock and a surprise, and there was two passings of two great guys, very close to each other. Obviously, we had Dallas with you guys, we had Rich, and it just shook the whole community. And it was a horrible place to be for a good few months. I think there was a lot of broken hearts. There was a lot of confusion, and it was just a strange place to be. And then the problem we found with 5% was that it was so much rich piano that it was very hard for someone to come in his place and take over. And then we had the opportunity to do the Ignite brand, which at first was fantastic. It was really, really good. And then for one reason or another, I landed a couple of huge film roles, which have been announced now, so we can talk about that today. Fast and Furious 9, which it was just too much of an opportunity for me to turn down. Working with Vin, working with John Cena, Ludacris, Tyrese, Michelle, it really was a dream come true for me. But the downside of that, obviously, I wasn't able to move over to Florida and to run the company. And you guys know, because you guys have done it so well, to run a company is a 24-hour project. It's not something you can do and then work on, a film of the magnitude of Fast and Furious. And unfortunately, that's just where my energy and time hit. And then we had this virus come along, and it was like two massive double whammies. And in my eyes, I love the fitness industry. I absolutely adore being part of the fitness industry. I love how it can bring people from nowhere to a standpoint of where I am. I wasn't really, I was nowhere near established 5 years ago, and I feel like the industry has allowed me to grow, and it's married up with the film work, and both of them have grown at the same time. But the difference between being able to run a company and being able to be an athlete for a company are night and day. There's no way I could carry on going down the Hollywood route and run a company. So when we spoke and that opportunity arose, and we've been friends now for, I remember your first expo. We've been friends from the very beginning, and
I was gonna get robbed.
It's been so nice watching you grow, and obviously myself growing at the same time, and it's been a relationship that's always been there. I've always asked, how's the brand going? How are you doing? What's happening? Where's it going? And we've always had that friendship. And I think deep in my heart, it was always, if this opportunity ever arose, I'd love to take it. And the opportunity arose. I mean, Aaron was begging me for, I think it was about 6-7 days. Is that right, Eric?
Yourself.
It was like, Aaron, can you stop phoning me, please? And then Eric was sending me them topless pictures, and I just couldn't say no. So
I understand all the time.
Listen,
that's our secret weapon.
Yeah, remember, it started with your pictures you were sending.
Well, no, but yours got better at the end. I was like,
it's weird.
I'm gonna have to do the next transformation journey just to try and beat yours.
Well, you've had one hell of a transformation. I don't know if people know, like, kind of your journey in fitness, like where you came from to how you really got into it.
Man, I've had two journeys back into fitness. I'd say I had when I was a young kid, I played professional sports. I'm not going to say what sport it was because you Americans don't appreciate how intense the game cricket is. I was a professional cricket player for a number of years, and then I got a really bad injury, and that injury forced me to not retire from the sport, but it put me back. It put me back a hell of a lot, and it really hit me hard. I lost my contract with the club I was with. I lost my granddad at the same time. And then I had a few other things going on. I was only 18, 19 at the time. And I had a massive breakdown. Okay. So I just complete breakdown. I ended up with an eating disorder. And I went down to ridiculous weights. My body weight was crazy. My body fat was probably just hovering above 1%. I reckon I was a couple of days away from being admitted into hospital. And then something just changed. A new energy. I just realized life was still there to be lived. And even though I'd been great at something in the past, and it had been taken away from me, that I could be great at something again. And I think that's when I fell in love with fitness, because it gave me the ability to put all my energy and all my time into something that I could physically see a change and internally feel a change. So that's when I went through my transformation of what really blew up, where people see this skinny little kid who ended up being 150 kilo monster of some sort that smiles a lot. And then I had another transformation just over 2 years ago where my stomach near enough exploded and I nearly died. And then I came back from that as well. So I love a challenge. Anything I can do, I love a challenge. The operation I had half my bowel removed. I think it was 9 inches of small intestine, and that had come about from an operation I had when I was a baby, and just a buildup of scar tissue. And I was in a bad place for a good few months. And Eric, me and you share that experience, I believe, with a very similar operation. So you know exactly where I've been and how hard it is to come back. And I think that really emphasizes what the brand Redcon stands for. It stands for that, one, pride within what you do and who you are, and two, that irresistible, relentlessness. Is that even a word?
Relentlessness.
That's the one. to never give up and just to stand there and just to keep knocking on that door until eventually that door opens. And I think that's what the brand, just for me, oozes that about itself. It's just it refuses to stop. It hits a point and everyone's like, well, surely the brand can't grow. And then you guys grow again, whether it's a new product, a new athlete, a new gym, a new facility, a new warehouse. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I think what's really nice is that it's grown organically, and it's grown with passion, and it's grown with honesty and friendship. And I think that's what really attracted me to the brand Redcon One. And I've got to say, ever since I've started using the products, and I've put a few posts up on stories, and the amount of response I've had from people that have said, I love Redcon One. I love this. I love that product. I love that product. And for me, it just really sort of emphasized how important it is to be around a successful company, but also successful people, because the energy is very much bounces from one to another. And for me, with the film work, I have great traction at the moment, and I'm going in the right direction. And I want to be able to take that positive energy and to match it up with someone and other athletes. So for me, when the opportunity came, it was an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great to hear. I love hearing that, from your perspective, Martyn, because we're at the business Redcon One is at a place, like you mentioned before, where it's like we have to have that authenticity. I would never, ever hire somebody to be on the team that didn't already know the brand, love the brand, like the products. If it was somebody who just wanted to do it for for a monetary thing and there was nothing else to it. I think people are smart enough to know and can tell at this point. Consumers are smarter than a lot of people give them credit for. And so you saying that, it just kind of you personify exactly kind of what we're looking for in a partnership like we're going to have. I know we're only keeping you for a short period of time, and I know everybody's going to hear about the acting stuff. And you like you said, you have amazing traction and a lot of good things happening right now.
Yeah, we have some huge things. I mean, this virus has put a short block on it, but we'll be back for sure. The premiere for Fast and Furious is supposed to be May. Now it's going to be April next year. I have a TV show I was working on for HBO called The Nevers. That we should be back filming that, I'd imagine September sort of time. And then last week I signed contracts to do a film in Holland, where it's a very exciting project for me. I'm working with someone who I can't announce yet because he doesn't want to. No, unfortunately, we couldn't afford his wage. The list of demands that Aaron placed for his trailer, it blew the budget.
Yes,
Unfortunately,
the biggest of the big screens in there and all the caviar.
It was the moisturizer, to be honest, mate.
We're supposed to talk about that, Martyn.
We've got a great year ahead. We've got so many eventful projects coming out and so much going on, and there's so much in the pipeline that for me it still feels somewhat of a dream, and it feels like I'm living someone else's life and I'm watching it unfold. It's very strange. It's very strange. But I'll say to you guys, like, I'm as excited about this as I am about the film work, and I genuinely am. I can't wait to get there and to meet the team and to feel the energy around the expos and to meet the followers, the fans, the supporters, and so on, and to try and give as much back to them guys as possibly can. Because at the end of the day, if I never had the followers that I have and the energy and the support and the help I get from them guys, I know for a fact I wouldn't be here. So I think it's really important to appreciate what you've got and also give back as much as you possibly can at the same time.
Martyn, we talked a few days ago about the coronavirus, and I like your take on it, because a lot of people right now, and maybe we'll end with this, a lot of people are feeling depressed or having feelings of hopelessness, because it is a really tough time for a lot of people. But your outlook on how to use this time, I thought, was really good. Would you share that with people watching?
Oh, for sure. I mean, my outlook on this was that you've got this time that's given to you now where you don't have external stresses that you can control. For me, if you have external stresses and you can't control them, there's no point worrying about them. And what I like to do is, when I have this time, is to set myself different challenges that I wouldn't be able to do if it wasn't for having this freedom. So for instance, if you can spend this time learning something that you can benefit from when we get out of the virus, and you can be progressive. I think the worst thing about mental health and depression is that you don't feel as if you're going forward. The same with training. A lot of guys will relate to training and understand it this way. If you're in a gym and you're never getting stronger, the energy for what you're doing will eventually, you'll lose it. You'll stop enjoying the working out. You'll stop enjoying the training. So with this time, if you don't make yourself better or you're not progressing, you're going to end up getting depressed and being in a dark place. So for me, what I like to do is to try and use this time to make sure that I apply it correctly. So when we finish the lockdown, I've gained some knowledge from it, a knowledge that I wouldn't have had the time to do before. So for me, don't ask me to do it, but I'm doing American accents, I'm doing Russian accents, and I'm researching a lot of the Mensa technique for acting. So what that means is that when I go back, my level of acting will have hopefully jumped up a level. So even though I've not been able to be on set working, I'm behind the scenes and I'm perfecting what I do. And I think that's what a lot of people are probably not taking full advantage of at the moment. You're going to go back to a normal or a part normal life quite soon, hopefully. What are you going to have learned or taken from this time off? And a lot of people will probably just take the loneliness, the darkness, and the not really feeling sure what's going to happen, and come back into the reality and almost be slapped with a big fist because they're not ready for what's coming. Whereas for me, I like to try and prepare, and as soon as them doors are open and we can go back to work, I've got 101 things I can apply and grow as an individual.
Yeah, I think that's a really good.
That's a great way, because people always say, I'm not doing this because I don't have time. Well, the world's giving you time, so take advantage of it.
100%, because do you know what's going to happen? It will be 200 miles an hour again before you know it, and no one's going to have any time to develop or improve their skills. So this is the absolutely ideal time to do it, because you've got no, like I said, you've got no other hobby or place to be. You're stuck in your house.
Yeah.
So it's the perfect way to.
It's honestly how this all came to be, really, right? Like, you know, who know? We met each other years ago. We all met and we stayed in contact, and that ran the last Body Power that both Rich and Dallas were alive. That whole weekend, we kept running into each other and interacting, and it was just recognizing that opportunity in each other, staying friends, talking. You and I ran into a hotel at the Arnold the year later, kept the conversation going, and it was something always in the background that we were really working on together. And it's just like, not, you could have just said, walked away from it, never thought of it again after like the Body Power that one time, but you took advantage. I think, you know, we took advantage of the opportunity of knowing each other and kept the relationship going. It's the same thing you're saying now. Is just people need to just take advantage. You know, there's an opportunity that gets presented, take it and make the most of it.
I think you're right. And I think what also would be what people should look at doing is really capitalizing and benefiting on the opportunity to reach out to people and to grow relationships, not just personal relationships, business relationships. What I like to do is every day, I learned this from an English actor, is he'd say every day text one person that you have worked with in the industry or that you know from the industry, and stay in contact, because you never know when that one person might have an opportunity that will arise for you, and so on and so on. And just to stay in and stay relevant with as many people as possible, and just to network as much as you can. At the moment, everyone's bored. Everyone's got time to respond to a message. Everyone's got time to jump on a phone call. So what I would say is to try and broaden your horizon, and to really dig deep and to grow as an individual, and to try and reach out and not only grow friendships, but also check on friends. I think that's a massive message that has been missed with the wash your hands and so on. I think a lot of people forget that this isolation is very tough on a lot of people. And suicide is so rife, and the deaths from suicide and the potential deaths going forward from suicide, from the effect this has on the economy, will be phenomenal. So I think if you do have that in you to wash your hands and to keep the 6 foot distance, then why not every day pick up your phone and text 3 or 4 of your closest friends and just check in on them? And I think that's what we should all be doing through this time, is to really try and stay close to the people who are closest.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool what you said about the fact that we don't have control over any of this. There's no point in worrying and watching. You know, some people watch the bad news over and over and over and over again. If you get fixated, spend hours and hours a day that they could be doing something productive. Instead, they're focused on something they have absolutely no control over.
1,000,000%. I think the problem is as well, it's like everyone has that friend who's negative, and you spend too much time with that negative friend, you become a negative person. And for me, I won't even answer the messages. I'll read the first couple of lines, and if it's a negative message, I'll just delete it. which is a bad.
Sorry,
it's all from here. No wonder he's not responding.
It's a bad friend thing to do, but for me, I think it's really important to stay in the right circle with the right people and keep the right energy, and it helps you grow as an individual. 100%.
And with that in mind, you know, we're very happy to have such a positive person, a new athlete and partner, and having you on board, Martyn. And I can't thank you enough for being here with us. And I think people, if they didn't get a taste of who you were before, then they certainly have with this interview. And you're going to be seeing quite a bit more of Martyn, hopefully here in Boca in the very near future, but certainly through all the content that Martyn's got going. One cool thing is because you have a gym, because you have access to people to video you, we're going to be able to get a lot of good video, a lot of content with you, even before you get down to Boca.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's something that I'm looking forward to as well, because we have Luke here, we have James here, and we have Donna and Brad. So there's a lot of talented guys here. And then obviously in America, there's so many athletes there. You've got with Brian, Cedric, and Blessing, and so on, and Adam that you signed the other day. For me, it's nice to have that competitive friendship. I need that because I really want to get back to being my best physically. Which I think when you're so busy doing other stuff, we'll always train because we love it. Don't get me wrong, the training's never faltered, but sometimes you haven't been able to eat the proper meals or take the proper supplements or rest as much because you're only getting 3 or 4 hours sleep. Now for me, having that gym here and the need for content and the athletes around, it's given me that firework again. So something special coming. I can feel it.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much, Mark, for coming on today. And we got a lot more stuff planned, as we said, and looking forward to the future. The future's bright.
Welcome to our family.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you. Which one do I call Dad? All right, Mom.
You have to see me topless.
All right, there, Sonny. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for doing this with us, buddy.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Martyn.
Martyn.